it's Simon Zucchi here. I'm the author of Property Magic, the Amazon #1 bestseller. And I've just come off the phone with a conversation with KB Bossman, and he's invited me to be the guest speaker at the Property Hour Show on Thursday, the 30th of December, 7 till 8 p.m. And I'm going to be sharing with you what's been happening in the property world in the last 18 months and what I think is going to happen in the next 12 months and how you can make 2022 your best year yet. I'm also going to share with you how you can get cash flow and equity growth from property that you don't even own. So look forward to seeing you on the Property Hour Show on Thursday, the 30th of December, 7 till 8 p.m. UK time. Look forward to speaking to you then.
So a very good evening and welcome to the Property Hour Show live on Starr Radio UK this and every Thursday from the hours of 7 p.m. Apologies for the late start. We were trying so hard to do some technical bit, but hey, we up and running. So hey, thank you so much. It's a privilege to come your way, and you know what, tonight I am excited for the topic that we're discussing, and also for our very triple VIP guest who is joining us for the first time on the Property Hour Show. He is none other than Phil Tuttle, who is going to grace the program tonight. We're going to dive into what we need to, the precautions that we need to take, and so he's the expert. I'll be leaving him to talk about everything, but hey, I'm still missing my co-host, Mrs. Vicky Newton. She's off for some time. She'll be joining us pretty soon over the festive season. But hey, if you've joined us, do us a favor. We're live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. It's at Starr Radio UK. Also on our app is quite interactive and user friendly. You can join us on our app, download from Android or Apple, Starr Radio UK, and you'll be able to download it, and also www.starradiouk.com. And also we're live on TuneIn Radio. We are live on so many platforms and so many pages. KB Bossman Facebook page as well. So hey, please keep it going, let it go viral. All we need this festive season, what are some of the precautions? What are some of the safety measures that we need to put in place? What are some of the things that we need to discuss as a family? And so that is what we're discussing tonight. And my guest is going to introduce himself, and I'm going to talk a little bit about him. I know that he's all set and ready. He's been waiting patiently for me. Phil, you're welcome to the Property Hour Show tonight.
Good evening, KB. Good evening, everyone, and thanks so much for inviting me along. Let's hope we can make this Christmas a bit safer for everybody, eh?
Oh, that would be fantastic. That's all that we inspire. I mean, we know what is happening in terms of the virus and everything that is happening in our world today. So we're hoping that the safety will be the highest priority for every person, and so we will kickstart. But then let me just give a brief bio about my very special guest, and I know just like this, and let me say sincere condolences to Mr. Des Taylor, who is no visitor or no stranger to the Property Hour Show. He lost the sister, I believe sometimes last week or so.
Yeah, last Sunday.
Sunday. Condolences goes out to you, Des, and we hope and pray. We hope and pray that you and the family will be comforted and be strengthened. And as you said on your Facebook page, you know that she is with her creator. So that is good news. And let me say that our guest tonight, let me not make any assumptions. I love to go through the details of everything. And so Phil is a number one, he's a landlord, so he's in the industry, the property industry. He knows what property is. He knows how it feels like if a tenant misbehave or a tenant is a good tenant. He knows what property from the A to the Z of property, so he understands. And also the good thing is that he's a property developer, which is key. Very, very, very good. And also, he's an engineer, which I'll dive into that. I want to find out what engineering have you been doing, Phil? And also, he's a consultant on housing, health, and safety. Amazing. That is why we are on this program tonight. He's a specialist in fire safety, and also I love this, Phil. He tells us about some horrors that you've experienced. So we're going to discuss that as well. Inspecting houses and HMOs across the country. And you're the compliance director at Landlords Defense. That's an organization that assists landlords. If you're in difficulty, as I always say, that if you're in difficulty, don't suffer alone or by yourself. There's always help. There's always a way to get around it. And it's better for you to seek help than to, to crumble and quail into your shell. No, there's always a way out. Every problem has got a solution. Get that. Every problem, there's a solution. So that's why Landlords Defense are there for landlords. They make sure that we do the right thing. They make sure that you are not in difficulty, and they will advise you to the best of what within the confines of the law. And so let me say that of the content on this particular program, please don't make a decision out of it. But if you need to make an appointment, or you need to seek any advice concerning what we are discussing, please do not worry at all. We can give you the information of Phil and also Landlord Defense. They are always readily available to help and to advise as well. So the content, we cannot be held responsible, but if you want to get information, please do not suffer alone. We'll connect you, and he will leave the details as well. So that is who our guest is. As I always say on this program, triple VIPs are the people we invite on the program. So Phil, thank you so much.
That's a great intro. Thank you very much, KB. Thank you. I always say I used to be an engineer, but I'm better now.
Oh, okay. Why do you think you're better now, Phil?
Well, because everybody thinks that engineers are really boring.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why would? Anyway, that would be a bit strange, because without engineers, we will not be advancing. I know scientists and all those stuff, but hey, engineers are the people.
They're quite useful, yeah.
Very, very, very. Whoever thinks that they are boring, I don't know, but hey, the end results will speak volumes. That's what we always have to look out for.
Anybody that thinks that engineers are boring hasn't been out on a night out with me, KB.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Wow. Okay. Well, we can talk about that as well if you want to. We can talk about that towards the end.
That might be safer off air.
Amazing. So, okay, Phil, let's kickstart the program, and thank you so much once again for joining us. It's a great privilege to have you. I want us to get set with the whole talk about health and safety at home when it comes to property or the home settings. What is the whole concept about?
Okay, well, there's a whole raft of stuff, loads of stuff that can damage our health in our properties.
Yeah.
And there's something that most people won't have heard of, and it's this horrendously titled Housing Health and Safety Rating System that the government cooked up in 2006.
Okay.
And that identifies 29 different hazards that cause us damage in the houses and flats that we live in.
Right.
So that could be anything from damp and mold through to falling out of windows, tripping over things, falling downstairs, banisters that are missing, all sorts of things like that. Even down to, we know about asbestos, those sort of things. Bricks and slates falling off the roof.
Wow.
I went to see one property last week in London, and there was a second floor window broken. And I thought, shard of glass could fall out of that any minute, fall down on somebody on the pavement below, straight into their artery, could be dead.
Wow.
You just wouldn't think about things like that. And when you get into this stuff, which sounds really boring, it's actually really scary.
It's scary,
the things that can happen to people. But the big one is fire.
Right.
Fire is probably the biggest, and particularly this time of year, because we've all got loads and loads of stuff around the house. And we've got, added to that, we've got a Christmas tree, we've got piles of presents, we've got lights, we might have candles, all sorts of stuff like that that could catch fire or start a fire. And the more stuff there is about, the more it's likely that a fire could start, and there's more stuff to actually catch fire. Yeah. So I think this time of year, fire is probably the biggest of those things for us to chat about.
Okay, so fire is the biggest. Should I call it hazard or?
Yeah, it's a strange one. Thankfully, there are not anything like as many house fires as there used to be.
Yes.
If I look back to about 2010, let's say, 10 years or so ago, there were about 37,000 house and flat fires.
37,000
in the year.
No way.
37,000. And this last year, that's down to 27,000.
That's a good.
That's a massive, massive increase, or more, massively better.
Yeah.
But it's still 27,000 fires.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's an amazing amount, isn't it?
Yeah.
And interestingly, of those, 24,000 or so are accidents, and nearly 3,000 are arson. People actively setting fire. 3,000 incidents, or in fact, these are leading to deaths. 3,000 that lead to deaths.
Phil, I'm sorry, but that sounds very scary. 3,000 of this is as a result of what?
Of people starting fires deliberately. Arson. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, I mean, we have some really funny things, if you can call it funny.
Yeah.
But we have, every year, we have around bonfire night, we have kids throwing fireworks through letterboxes.
Yeah.
They think it's fun, but that leads to quite a lot of these 3,000 house fires. And these are, fire is so bad that when a fire starts, it gets going, and it gets going so rapidly, and it is so fierce that it instantly leads to people getting burned, getting asphyxiated by smoke. It's one of those things that, even though in the grand scheme of things it doesn't happen that often, when it does, it's nearly always disastrous. That's the big thing about fire.
But Phil, can I ask this? The figures are just too scary for me. Not to talk about the arson one. Do you think that we take fire for granted? We belittle its effect as to how it can destroy?
Yeah, absolutely. Because unless you've actually seen it or watched videos of it, and I remember when I was little, which is several thousand years ago.
I like
maybe a bit more. But the government used to show little information films on the TV,
right?
And they would be things like, what happens if you drop a cigarette on the sofa? And you'd be able to watch a little short video of how that fire would grow and envelop the room in choking poisonous smoke and really catch fire. In fact, one of the things that we'll be getting onto a bit later on. There's a little booklet I've written here. I don't know if you can actually see it. There we go. Called, very very snappy title, Less Than 3 Minutes Before You Die. Yeah. And the point of that booklet, which is written for tenants, but we'll give out the link later, and anybody can get it and download it.
Okay.
And I think it's really important that people do, because this is stuff you absolutely need to know.
Yeah.
But that takes you through a little 3-minute video of somebody, a teenager or a tween, dropping the hairdryer on the bed as she's getting ready to go out.
Yeah.
Less than 30 seconds later, the bed is starting to smoke, and we can see the flame coming up.
You mean a hairdryer? Yeah,
just an ordinary hairdryer, just dropped on the bed, and she dropped a piece of clothing on top of it.
What?
Hair dryers. Let's think now. Even iPhone chargers, phone chargers, things like that. Candles. All manner of things that can actually start fires.
What?
And if they're carelessly, if hot things are left on near furnishings, particularly soft furnishings, sheets, pillows, that sort of thing, then there's a very good chance of a fire starting.
Wow. No, I mean, go on, please. Sorry, I'm just. No,
go on.
I mean, let me confess this. I love health and safety, but for fire, I think I've just I've taken it lightly, seriously. It's something. I think we all do, because it's not something that anybody tells us about, and that's actually why tonight's show is really good. Because even though it sounds like a rather boring topic, fire, health and safety, it is until it actually happens. And in the booklet, there's a little QR code where people can click their phones on it and watch the video. And within a minute, of the fire starting, so a minute and a half after the hairdryer was dropped, there is black, choking, 200 degrees centigrade smoke down to here. What?
Now, that's within a minute and a half.
Whew.
Now, that smoke is full of cyanide, because all our furniture these days is made out of polyurethane foam inside.
Yeah.
And that gives off all sorts of nasty gases, including carbon monoxide and the incredibly poisonous cyanide. It's black, it's thick, and at 200 degrees C, when it gets to here, if you don't drop onto your knees, within seconds, it's going to fry your lungs from the inside out.
Wow.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if you're watching, please do share this link. These are the stuff that we need to focus, concentrate, and talk about, share, educate, speak to the family about it, especially the younger ones. And as Phil said, festive season, everybody is happy, everybody's jumping. But the little things,
and a few extra drinks,
exactly. You get confused. You might be just pouring the is it whiskey or gin into whatever, and boom, anything can happen.
Indeed,
this is serious, Phil. I'm a bit scared now. and
oh dear.
The figures that you've given us with regards to the fires. What do you think when it comes to people dying from fire? Do you have any figures or statistics in a year, or people getting injured?
Yeah. So in one way, the good thing is the actual death figures are quite low.
Okay.
So in the last year, there were only 186 deaths.
Okay.
Now, when you compare that to what's happening with COVID at the moment, you know, COVID, that's that many a night. So that's a very low figure. And interestingly, of those, 171 are happening in houses and flats, and only somewhere around 10 in HMOs. But that's more than anything due to the number of houses and flats versus the much smaller number of HMOs. Now that compares to what they call non-fatal casualties, and that's where people are badly burned or badly smoke injured, and can do an awful lot of damage to their lungs. And that's 4,877. So not that many people die, but an awful lot of people are quite seriously injured.
But that's
and that we don't want.
That is serious. I mean, most of
it's horrific. It's horrific when you do get injured by fire.
And apart from the fire, the smoke, as you just explained, gets into your system. How serious is that?
Well, interestingly, if we look at the number of deaths, of that 186, only 94 died of burns.
Only 94?
Most of the rest died from the smoke inhalation, not the fire, not the flames, because most people die before they get badly burnt.
Oh.
And that's when I mentioned, the smoke coming down, highly poisonous, highly toxic, absolutely black, and incredibly hot. By the time we get to 3 minutes in a room, the whole thing, everything in that room is on fire in a massive fireball at 800 degrees centigrade.
What?
All within 3 minutes. All within 3 minutes. Now that's why, scarily, my little booklet is called Less Than 3 Minutes Till You Die.
Till you die.
Because if you're not out of your room, if a fire starts in your room and you're not out within 3 minutes, or in fact within 2 minutes, you're probably dead.
Yeah.
And that's why smoke detectors are so incredibly important.
Wow. Within 3 minutes.
Now,
please go
do you want to get on to some of the funny things I see on site?
Yeah, please.
Because a lot of them are to do with smoke detectors. So I guess everybody knows smoke detector is that little round thing that sits on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Probably has a little red light that flashes now and again.
Yeah.
And maybe once a year starts beeping because the battery's got low. And then, unfortunately, a lot of people, particularly tenants in rented properties, then think, it's beeping, it's annoying me, and they take it off the ceiling. Oh, yeah. But equally, we get a lot of people, obviously, that like a smoke in their room, even though landlord said, no smoking. Of course, tenant goes, I want a cigarette, or I want a weed. So when I go to look at some of these properties and inspect them, so I see gardening gloves over the smoke detector, I see condoms stretched over the smoke detector, I see tinfoil over the smoke detector, and I see the smoke detector just completely vanished because there's only the mounting plate left and they've taken off the ceiling. And I tell you what, guys, you do that and there's a fire, it's not going to tell you, and you're fast asleep. And if you're fast asleep and the fire starts and you've only got 2.5 minutes to get out of your room, you really want that smoke detector working. It really isn't worth the risk.
I'm not shattered, but these are things that it looks like it's everyday thing that we do, and we do it casually as if it's, it's too annoying. Just take it off.
It's exactly that. It's the fact that it's annoying. Yeah. And unfortunately, everything to do with health and safety is a sort of balance between your safety and how much annoyance you can put up with. and unless you, of course, most of us don't realise what the other side of that balance is. You know, we're annoyed by the smoke alarm that beeps or that won't let us have a crafty cigarette, but we never think what's going to happen if there is a fire, and we're going to wake up dead. Not good.
And Phil, you know, as an inspector, I know you're most of the time hated by people, especially some landlords, when you go in and you pinpoint, and all that you're thinking about is cost.
Yeah.
So, how do you do it? Do you? I mean, you go in, you do your inspection, and you advise. What? I mean, give us a brief description of what you go into a typical, let's say, HMO. Do you normally do just HMOs or single?
No, do single lets as well. But the HMOs are more complicated. They are a higher risk environment.
Right.
And also, they're the properties that the councils prosecute landlords for, because they can make more money out of prosecuting HMO landlords.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I go in, I go through every room in the house, and I'm checking for anything that's wrong against all 29 of these hazards, as they call them.
Yeah.
So I'm looking to see, could somebody fall out of the window? Is there any damp and mould? Is the fire alarm where it should be? Is it there even? Does it have the proper fire door? Are the gaps around the fire door correct? Has it got the correct hinges? Because the hinges have got to be able to withstand 800 degrees C when there's a fireball. We'll come on in a minute if we can to what fire doors are really for.
Right.
And I have to check that they've got the right latches, all that sort of thing. If there's anything that people could trip over, the amount of electrical adapters and extension leads, because they start fires. Portable heaters, they start fires.
Wow.
So we're checking for all of that stuff. And yeah, at the end of it, I then usually have to persuade the landlord that he or she needs to spend some money. And would you like to know how I persuade them of that?
I would love to.
Okay, so the two things I tell landlords.
Yeah.
One is, you really don't want to kill any of your tenants.
Oh my.
And the other one is, if a fire happens and one of your tenants is badly injured or, God forbid, dies, then you're going to be up in front of the judge on an aggravated manslaughter charge. And you really want to be able to say that you did absolutely everything that you should, could, and were advised to do in front of that judge, or you're going to jail. And the threat of jail and the threat of not wanting to kill tenants wakes them up. It really does wake them up, because they don't think of it like that. But I have to say, every one of these things that you don't do, you're putting somebody's life at risk.
Yeah. Wow. If you've just joined us, you're live on Starr Radio UK, and the program is the Property Hour Show. Listen, every Thursday, we're here to educate, to inform, to empower you, for you to be transformed. That's our duty. This is our national service that we're doing. We make sure that you are informed so that you don't get deformed. I believe that is very key.
That's good. Yeah.
I am learning a lot tonight, even though I know some of them. I must confess, I overlook some of them. So my hands are up, but it's that serious. What the last statement that Phil you just made, that when you tell the landlords that how would you feel that one of your tenants get burnt or something happens to them and you have to appear before a judge? You might be going to prison or something like that. That's quite serious.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Because, if we're a landlord, we are responsible for the tenant's safety.
Yeah.
We have to make everything about the building safe for the tenants. It's our job. And there's no shirking that responsibility. And the councils are extremely hot on this. We regularly see HMO landlords being fined £28,000-29,000.
Yeah.
Because they haven't got the fire precautions right.
For
if you've got an HMO, and you don't have the right alarms and the right fire doors,
yes,
you can expect a fine of between £25,000 and £30,000 from the council just for that.
Just for that.
Just for that. Yeah. That's how important they take fire safety. And I tell you, most HMOs and an awful lot of single lets, they really don't have up-to-date smoke and fire alarms. Because what was acceptable 10, 15 years ago is not good enough now. Everybody's learnt about how these things need to work, how they can protect people. It used to be acceptable just to have one smoke alarm in the hallway or on the landing.
Yeah.
Then it went to one on each landing. But for most properties now, the recommendation is a smoke alarm in every bedroom, every lounge or reception room, and what's called a heat alarm in the kitchen. And it has to be a heat alarm in the kitchen, because if you have a smoke alarm in the kitchen, then every time you burn something or you burn the toast, then off it goes, wakes the whole house up. So there's also a reason why we now say that you need alarms in the bedrooms, and there's two reasons for that, really. One is, if you've got fire doors, fire doors stop sound because they're thick and heavy. So if you've only got the detector out or the alarm out on the landing, you're asleep in your bed, is it going to be loud enough to wake you up? And often the answer is, or mostly the answer is no. So from that point of view, you want one inside your bedroom to wake you up. If something else is on fire somewhere else in the house, you need to know, and you need to get the heck out. Yeah. You don't want to be staying. You don't want to be waiting and grabbing everything and putting all your clothes on. Just grab whatever's handy and run like hell. Is our advice. Just get the heck out.
It's not just getting scary, but it's becoming real. And one of my friends on Facebook says that that's George Asante. Bro, how you doing? He says that God have mercy on us. Because, and also Professor Robert is watching us as well on Facebook, and a couple of people. But it's so scary. And the amazing thing is, I believe, Phil, these gadget or equipment, fire alarms, and all, they are not expensive, are they?
No, they're not.
So why?
They might have been 20 years ago, but they're not now. A smoke alarm's probably £25, £30. In the grand scheme of things, it's nothing. And in terms of people's safety, it's absolutely nothing. Now they last for 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah. So if you amortise it over 10 years, it's pence a year. So yeah, for goodness sakes, put them in all the bedrooms, put them in every living room, put them in the hall and landing. Save lives.
Oh, but you know what? I know you've talked about the HMO. I believe that let me be blunt. I believe that the biggest culprits will not just be the HMO landlords, but their homes. Because majority of the time it looks like we are so comfortable. This is my home. This I mean, we are always cautious. We take precautions. But these equipment, do we even find time to or just schedule for it to be the experts to come in and inspect and make sure that they are working, or do we test them?
Well, this is the thing. We don't even think about them. If we've got them, they're sitting on the ceiling, and we never think to test them. I mean, if you've got the sort of normal alarms that you find in most places, you should press the button and test it at least once a month. Because if you don't test it, how do you know it's working?
Yeah. How
do you know it's going to save your life when the fire starts? Yeah. And it's not exactly a big job to press the button. On some of the bigger HMOs, they have what's called a panel system or a grade A system, where you see in the hallway there's usually a big panel with lots of little lights and things and a key switch and so forth. And those should be tested every single week.
Every single week?
Yeah, every single week.
Is it for HMOs or both? I mean, HMOs.
Well, those are usually in HMOs where you've got 3 stories or more.
Okay.
But the other ones, the normal ones, which is called a grade D, the new ones, those need testing every month. And those are the ones these days that are interlinked. So if one goes off, they all go off. And you can tell, you press the button on one alarm, and it'll go off, and then a couple of seconds later you hear all the rest going off. You let go of the button, yours stops sounding, and then you can hear the ones chirping all around the house, so you know everything's working. Takes seconds, but people don't do it. Landlords usually tell the tenants, "You do it," and then nobody does it.
I mean, even though where does the responsibility lies? Is it on the landlord or the tenant?
It's actually on the landlord.
Okay.
It's actually on the landlord. However, it's most enforceable because of the way the law's written against the HMO landlord, because they can use something called the HMO management regulations to prosecute the landlord. And that's where these massive £30,000 fines come from.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can we talk about fire doors for a few minutes?
Because I was going to move to that, and I'm just shocked at some of the information that you've given. So let's talk about fire doors, because most people find them a real pain, and too expensive, and so what is the main purpose of it?
Okay, so you would think, or most people think, if you're in your bedroom, then the fire door is to keep you safe from a fire.
Yeah.
Actually, no.
Okay.
The job of a fire door is exactly the other way round. Its job is to keep the fire inside the room it starts in.
Oh my.
So that it doesn't spread to the rest of the house, and most importantly, doesn't spread to the landing or the hallway, which is your escape route. So let's say you're in your bedroom, you've had a crafty cigarette, and it's fallen on the bedding's caught fire, and all of a sudden the smoke alarm's going off, which, please God, wakes you up, and you realise there's a fire in your room, and you get out really quickly.
Yeah.
And the fire door, which has got a spring thing on, which we all hate these spring things because they're really heavy, and we can't leave the door ajar, and we can't whiz in and out. But at this very moment, the spring closes it behind you, and keeps the fire in that one single bedroom, whilst the alarms are telling everybody else the house is on fire. And because that fire door is keeping the smoke and the flames inside the bedroom it started in, that means that the hallway and the stairs and the landings, they're free from fire, so everybody can get out. So that's the job of a fire door, is to keep the fire inside the room it starts in and away from the exit route.
Wow.
And that's why they're so important. And that's why, all right, we can't stop people propping them open from time to time. We know it happens. I have to say, don't do it. But let me say this to you. Don't ever, 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 ever go to sleep with fire doors propped open. Because if a fire starts in the kitchen at night, and the kitchen is far and away the most likely place for a fire to start, so if it starts there and you're asleep in bed, and you've wedged the kitchen door open because it's a pain carrying your tea or your plate in and out of the kitchen, and that fire starts, within 3 minutes there's 800 degrees C fireball coming up the stairs. You're not even out of your bedroom yet. How are you going to get out? So it's absolutely imperative that when people are sleeping, fire doors are closed. The fire danger is always when people are sleeping. Because when you awake, the best fire alarm in the universe is actually your own nose. Because very often,
I like that.
and in fact, it seriously in commercial places, commercial buildings, very often there are no smoke detectors. Because there's never anybody sleeping. There's those call points that you can, if you find a fire, you set that off to tell everybody to get out. But people will smell a fire before a smoke detector detects it, except when you're asleep. You smell nothing when you're asleep. You hear nothing when you're asleep. And if you do, very often, even the alarm, the sound of the alarms, that integrates into your dream. Which is why it needs to be so loud and close to you that you can't ignore it. So fire doors gotta be closed when you're sleeping.
Cool.
And if there is a fire door like a kitchen door that is such a pain, talk to your landlord about it and ask him to fit a fire keep open device on it. It's a thing that goes at the bottom of the door, and you can actually open the door and click the lever down to keep it open. And it listens all the time. It's got batteries in and it listens. And as soon as it hears the smoke alarm going off, it clicks and the door closes. Fantastic device. Landlords don't like fitting them too often because they're about £200 each. But and councils sometimes don't like them because they say, proper, it's wedged open. But a wedged open fire door is not a fire door, it's a hole. It's a very big hole that 800 degrees C fire and black poisonous smoke will come through.
Wow.
A hold open device will close the door. So landlords, look into those things. Close hold open devices.
Wow. There's real education, and also the kind of information you're downloading to us is just priceless, because we've taken these things for granted for far too long, and far too long, and we belittle stuff. And this Christmas we'll be coming to where I know our time is almost up, but I've been given about 15 minutes, so we should be fine.
Okay.
So we can cover some few stuff as well. What I wanted to find out, and also Phil, let me say that in the new year as well, because some of the information you're given tonight is very, very, very important, but we don't follow them. And so in the new year we'll find time and book you on again for some more education on what we need to do. And the things that we need to look out for. And these are just, to set them up is just peanut. 25 pounds that can save not just lives but the whole property. That's something else. So I want to ask, what should one do if you should discover fire?
Okay, so first thing is, if it's in your room, just get out of that room and close the door. Make sure the door's closed to keep the fire in there, so that your housemates can get out or your family can get out. The next thing to do is, if the alarm hasn't already gone off, shout fire, fire, and just make sure everybody else gets out as quickly as possible. One of the most important things in a fire is for people to realise that it's actually a fire and not a false alarm. Because we all get a bit used to, people accidentally setting off the fire alarms. Particularly, if people smoke in their rooms, as we've said, and set it off from time to time, and people go, "Oh, it's Joe smoking again," and you sit and wait, and you've seen it. You might be in a public building when the alarm goes off, and everybody just looks at everybody else, and they just keep looking at everybody else, thinking, "Well, is it real? Will it stop?" And it's like 20-30 seconds before anybody actually moves. Well, we've just been talking about how quickly that fire builds up.
Exactly.
And sitting around for 20-30 seconds is not a good idea. So if there's one of those red call point things on the landing that you can smash the glass and press, do that. But if not, just shout fire, fire, everybody get out, at the top of your voice, and then just get out.
But Phil, this is a funny one. Sorry to interrupt you, but there are people that when they sleep, it's like they are gone, and people like that. What do you do? Well, that's difficult. I mean, if their door's not locked, then you get in there and wake them up. Absolutely, or you batter on the door. Yeah, I mean, hopefully there'll be a smoke alarm inside the room. Right. Loud enough to wake them up. But if not, that's an HMO. If it's an HMO, then
yeah. I mean, if it's your family, or even a small shared house where you don't have locks on the doors, just go in, get people out, and be quick as you can. Yeah. But because the most important thing is get people out before the fire breaks through into the escape route.
Okay.
Now, in theory, a fire door should hold a fire back for up to 30 minutes.
30 minutes, okay.
Yeah, but you don't want to be hanging around that time. The reason we have what's called a 30-minute protected escape route is so that the tenants or the occupants can all get out in the first 3 or 4 minutes, and then things are still relatively safe for the fire brigade to go in when they arrive.
Right.
That's why we have 30 minutes. It's not 30 minutes to get people out. We want people out inside three minutes max. Yeah. Wow. 3 minutes. It's not long. It's not long.
And people have to take their belongings, or some people want to?
I mean, by all means, grab a pair of jeans or something as you're running out. But don't stop to find anything. Don't pick your valuables up. Just grab something. If you're sleeping in the nude, grab a pair of jeans, put them on when you get outside. I know it's rude.
Yeah.
But better rude than dead.
Exactly. Better rude than dead. I like that. I like that. I like that.
I copyright that. Yeah.
I like that. And Phil, can one fight fire by themselves? Is there a way?
Highly inadvisable. I mean, in your kitchen there should be a fire blanket.
Okay.
And if you've set the chip pan on fire, or the frying pan on fire, or something like a tea towel's got on the hob and caught fire, then pull the 2 strings out of the bottom of the fire blanket, open it up, make sure that you are somewhere on the direction towards the door.
Yeah.
So that if it all goes wrong, you can still get out. And then I don't know if I could demonstrate, just sort of throw it gently over the fire.
Right.
making sure you don't get burnt, and with a bit of luck, that'll put the fire out. If it's a small thing like a stovetop fire. Anything else, and some HMOs will have fire extinguishers in, but I always advise that landlords don't put fire extinguishers, because unless you're trained to use them, you can actually injure yourself, because you can actually cause the fire to jump at you. And we've just said you've got 3 minutes to get out. That doesn't give you any time really to be messing around with fire extinguishers. So the whole purpose of what we do from a safety point of view, it's about human safety. It's not actually about saving the property.
Right.
Yeah, we leave that to the fire brigade. We just need people not to get injured and not to get killed. So we just want them out. So going back to your last question, you discover a fire, you do what you need to get people out, you make sure the fire's contained by closing its fire door, get out, and then somebody dials 999.
Okay.
And you make sure, you gather across the road or wherever there should be a notice in the hallway that tells you where the meeting point is, if there's a fire. It's usually just directly across the road, so you can see what's going on, but you're safe. You make sure that everybody's there, that you think should be there. But what you don't do is go back in, ever. Yeah?
Don't ever
That's
go back.
heroics that will, you're going to end up injured. Leave that for the fire brigade. When they arrive, if you think somebody's still inside, you tell the fire brigade and let them deal with it.
Powerful.
Personal heroics usually lead to lots of injuries.
Exactly. Thank you for that.
Okay.
I'm going to ask, I've got 2 more questions, and let me say a big thank you to our sponsors, CIG Properties, amazing property management company based in the UK. And if you're looking to invest in the UK or in Africa, look no further. It's CIG Properties, www.cigpropertyuk.com. And also may I associate, if you're looking to whether it's a commercial or a private project, housing project in Ghana, these guys are professionals that will take care of that project on your behalf and execute it from conception to completion. And also we're sponsored by M&M Concept. These are graphic designers, and also they are, if you're looking for a pull-up banner or banner, t-shirt, merchandise, look no further. It is M&M Concept, amazing company, global company based in Ghana, competitive prices. They design our flyers for the property hour show, so you know the quality I'm talking about. These guys are good and professionals as well. Last but not the least is Kerry's Furniture. They are based in Atlanta, Georgia, but you know what, they can deliver to your doorstep. If you're looking for interior decor or furniture to furnish your whether commercial property, or whether your office or hotel or your private home, it is Kerry's Furniture. You can connect with them on Instagram or Facebook. Kerry's is KHARIS Furniture, and you can connect with them. If you mention Starr Radio UK, 15%. All these companies, 15% discount awaits you. So you're in safe hands. We have vetted them. We know these guys can deliver. But hey, the good news is that on the 30th of this month, I'm hosting the Godfather of Property. When it comes to properties in the UK, the Godfather himself is going to be on the show, and at the end of the program, I'm going to play his video of his invitational video. That Simon Zushi is going to be live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio. It's a big thing. You don't want to miss it, and so get ready for something great. And let me also say thank you to Samuel Banks, and he is on YouTube giving some good tips there, as well as comment. He says it takes less than 3 minutes. He says cooking things cause smoke alarms to go off. Thank you, Samuel. And he says impressive. Okay. New Year's resolution for landlords: get smoke alarms and keep the fire doors closed. I like that, Samuel. Samuel Banks, thank you for that.
Yeah.
You said it all. And he says, perfect, just get out of the building. Brilliant. Thank you, Samuel. And my my other question, Phil, before you give us your details on how people can contact you and your services that you offer, I want to find out, you just mentioned about fire extinguishers. My basic knowledge about that tells me that there are different extinguishers for every different fire that you can use. So how do people go about it? How do they?
Well, this again is why I say to people, don't, because it's complicated.
Yes.
In most buildings with like HMOs, then you'll have a general purpose one, just one type. But some of the older HMOs, then they've got a water one and a carbon dioxide one. And if you use the wrong one, it's going to make things worse, not better. So I'm absolutely honest, just don't. Just leave them where they are and get out. It's the only safe thing to do. Unless, if your employer has sent you on a fire extinguisher course, then you know what to do. But for everybody else, you don't know what you're doing. It's it's literally playing with fire. So I always recommend to landlords that they actually take them out, because I think they do more harm than good. So don't use them. By all means, if you feel confident, use the fire blanket. And in the booklet that we're going to tell everybody about in a minute, there's also a QR code in there that you can watch a video on how to actually use a fire blanket. A little training video in there as well.
I've got it somewhere. I was just trying to see if it was downloaded.
So while you're looking for that, I'll just tell everybody. If you go to bit.ly, that's bit.ly. bit.ly/T-fire. T-fire. bit.ly/T-fire, and then you'll be able to download this booklet. And I don't know if this will work, but if I hold that up in front of the no, that's refusing to work. No,
it was wet.
Oh, there it was. No, this background thing on. Let me turn the background off for a moment. There we go. Right, there we go.
Okay.
So if people want, if you want to scan that with your phone while it's on screen.
Let me try mine. And okay. Right.
Okay. Does that work?
So you can, and I've got the information as well. I am trying to get it. My producer has stepped out of the building, so it's amazing. Right. Okay. But anyway, the information is here. Oh, some of the pictures are. Ooh. Some of them just. Right. Okay. What I'll do is I'm just trying to see if I can load it on. It has to go on the system.
So it's much technical for me.
Right. Okay. Because of time, the next program is coming up soon. So, sorry, I've not been able to load. But as Phil said, is bit. Is it bit.ly bit.ly slash
T-fire or T-fire.
Right, got it here. So bit.ly slash, is it fire?
Yeah, T hyphen
T
fire.
hyphen fire. Oh, okay.
Yeah, just stands for tenant fire.
Tenant fire. Okay.
T hyphen fire. Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to get more information about how serious fire is, please, you've got to log on to this. And if you are not able to scan the QR code, it's bit.ly/T-fire, and you can get loads of information. Some of the pictures, the graphic is just, but I like it because it wakes you up. It gives you that wake up call that you don't have to joke with fire at all. And some of the things that we take for granted, I never knew, and I'll keep confessing, I have to be honest, I never knew that hair dryers can cause fire. Seriously, I've never thought of it that I mean, hair dryer can cause fire. Never. We take it for granted.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't while you're using it, but if you put it down, and it's still hot, and then there's soft furnishings underneath, there's still heat inside it, and particularly if you drop something else on it that keeps the heat in, like a jumper or something on top, it can start a fire, and it doesn't help because they're made of plastic these days, and the plastic melts and joins in the fire. Because plastic is actually fuel for a fire.
Wow.
Because it all burns.
That's serious.
But it can be so many different things. Because it can be that those 4-way adapter things, on the extension leads.
Yeah.
They're dreadful. They melt and catch fire all the time. Phone chargers, iPad chargers, all that sort of thing. Electric fires. If you've got a portable electric fire in your room. And it gets too close to the curtains or too close to the bedding, that can cause a fire. And particularly in HMO bedsits where things are quite cramped, because there should always be, there should always be a gap of at least 0.5 metre on every side of a portable heater. We can't do that in an HMO bedroom. There just isn't room.
No.
Yeah, that's why they should be banned in every HMO. You shouldn't be allowed, for your own safety, portable heaters. And of course that means that the landlord's got to make sure that the central heating's working properly. But again, proper central heating actually contributes to having decent fire precautions, because then you don't have the fan heaters, you don't have the oil heaters. Oh, we haven't even talked about little candles, the tea lights.
Yes.
Those things everybody loves to put on the side of the bath and what have you. If you haven't got them in a glass holder, the underside of those gets to 200 degrees C. That'll start a fire.
Oh.
We see them, they go through the tops of televisions, they go through the side of baths. They'll set the carpet on fire. Tell you what, guys, go and buy the little battery ones. Battery ones are not going to kill you. Those that you get in the packs from IKEA, every one of those has got fire written all over it. They look so sweet. They look so romantic. They're trying to kill you.
Phil, you're not scaring me, but I'm just I don't know what to say, but we take this we take these things for granted.
I talk a lot about this now because I've been a landlord for many years. I've been a property developer. I'm an engineer. I understand some of this stuff. But it was only when I went to learn to become a fire risk assessor.
Okay.
And I went to the fire training college, and I was there, for a whole week, and it scared the pants off of me.
It's very.
And that's it's just the stuff that can go wrong. And it's only because I said that the number of fires is down from 36,000 to 26,000.
Yeah.
And that's only because we've now got more fire doors and more fire alarms. Yeah. That's why we're so much safer. But guys, those things really, really matter. And let's try and get it down from 27,000 this year to 17,000 or less in a few years' time.
I don't think. Sorry, I'm getting. I don't think we take these things serious at all. I don't think so. And most especially, I know we talked about HMOs. Yes, they are the high risk areas, but a big but is the homes. I mean, private homes,
well,
family
there's
homes.
So many more homes. Yeah,
yes,
so many more.
You know, and these ones are like where we feel so comfortable. Is my home. Who are you to tell me this? Blah blah. We take even the batteries when the batteries die, we just chuck it away, and we are cool. You know.
Well, the recommendation now for your own home is to have proper mains powered, interlinked smoke alarms, just the same as you do in an HMO now.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and in fact, I don't know if you've noticed anybody, but if you go into new builds now, they have smoke alarms in every bedroom, all mains wired.
Wow.
One goes off, they all go up. Because that's what we've learned over the years, is that's what saves lives. So, yeah, it's not the most exciting Christmas present to buy yourselves, but a set of decent fire alarms, interlinked in every bedroom, well worth the expense. Well worth it. Few £100, going to save your life for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
That's a bargain, isn't it?
It is, and it's a lifesaver as well. And if you're watching us, if you've just joined us, you've missed out on a lot. But the good thing is that you can do a replay on social media, almost everywhere that you got the link from. And so we're wrapping up now. Phil is going to leave his details, or if you look on the screens, I'm going to get him on, and so you can see the background. Their website is it's on there. Their phone numbers is on, and Phil is going to tell us where they come in and how. I mean, where they come in, what their job entails, what they go into homes to do. So he's going to brief us and give details of how people or landlords can contact them as well, and how they can, if you're on the wrong side of the law, if they have to defend you.
Yeah.
Very, very important. So Phil, if you can please brief us on what your job entails, and when you come in or you step in, and what people need to do this Christmas. I know you mentioned it from the beginning, but also if you can do a repeat of that for us, and how people can contact you, please.
Okay, so guys, if you want to get in touch, if you're a landlord particularly, then just Google Landlords Defence, or you can go to landlordsdefence.co.uk/book, and you'll see there all the different services we provide, and you can go ahead and book or fill in the form at the bottom of that page. And if you've got a rental property, an HMO or a buy-to-let, and if you want to be certain that it's safe and it complies with the law, then my team of surveyors will come out, survey it for you, give you a full report on what needs seeing to, what needs attending to, and they'll do exactly the same inspection that the council would do. The difference is we're doing it to help you. If the council comes and does it, they're doing it to prosecute you. So either do that, Google Landlords Defence, go to our website, landlordsdefence.co.uk/book, or give our lovely Teresa a ring on 0208 088 0788. That's 0208 088 0708. Okay.
That's great, and you can see all the numbers. The number is right behind Phil. You can see 0208 088 0788, and that's www.landlords with an S defense .co.uk/book, so you can book them and have a conversation with them, because you know what, he used a particular word that when they come out, they come to one way or the other to help you get in line with the law, but when the council comes out, you're up for prosecution. So choose for yourself tonight who you are going to opt for. So choose for yourself if you want to be prosecuted or you want to comply
or get it right.
And that's something that we always want to get the quick fix, but it's better to take the long route and do it well and get out of the wrong side of the law. And I mean, Phil, you don't know what you've done to me tonight. Oh my!
Oh dear! I hope you won't be having nightmares, KB.
I don't think so, but I have I've learned a lot, and I think I'm going to do a good tour just before Christmas to almost every site and make sure that things are in shape. Even though that I know that they are, I have to go and make sure that things are
double sure.
I don't want any knock on my door or any letters coming through. It's been a good night for me, and I know that our viewers and listeners have enjoyed it as well. But then before you go, if you want to wish friends, family Merry Christmas or any message, you're more than welcome to do that, please.
That's really kind. So yeah, indeed, to everybody that knows us on Facebook, on Twitter, in fact all over social media, and particularly to the guys that I work with, Des Taylor and Felicity, Teresa, our team, and all the guys that work for me out on the road, all the inspectors. Have a really great Christmas and get some rest, because we're going to be busy in the new year.
I like that. You're going to get busy. Well, let's hope and see. I mean, fingers crossed. No fires. We're hoping that it can happen. That we'll go through the season with no fires, so that everybody can have a good Christmas, because we already have Mr. Virus on our hands that we are dealing with, so we don't want to get into this kind of fire thing at all. So Phil, thank you so much for your time, for the wealth of knowledge that you've shared with us. It's an experience. It's a good education, and you have no idea. I'll say that again. But I think if Des happens to listen, he knows what I'm talking about, because it's a good hit. And thank you so much for your time tonight.
It's an absolute pleasure.
We highly appreciate you. Thank you for joining us, and we believe that in the new year we will book you again to get things back on track, and we see how statistics have shrunk, or let's hope for that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And have a good night.
Pleasure.
Okay then.
Bye everybody.
All right. Bye. Then. So then you had it all. You know what? it's not just something you can joke with. It's a good education. It's the things that we take for granted. You see, I wish I was able to put up that booklet, that little booklet. You see the kind of the pictures and the kind of things that we take for granted. He mentioned some of the socket as well, the 3-phase sockets that we put all kinds of things, plug in. It can generate fire, and so. Hair dryer. This is the first thing that the first time I've heard this. Hair dryer can cause fire. So you've got to take that precaution and make sure you have a safe Christmas. if you have to do a playback, please. The wealth of information shared tonight is amazing. You can't go wrong with information, because knowledge, they say, is power. Empower yourself, get education, work with it, action it, and you get better result. And it's better to be empowered and take precautions than to say sorry, because sorry does not repair. It only is a temporary thing. So that's a lot we've learned tonight. Our time is up, but I thank you so much for joining us. Please keep on sharing. Let somebody hear. Let the family share with the family. You can watch all kinds of movies, but hey, this is one of the movies that you have to watch possibly before Christmas, so that you don't get any bad movies spending time outside instead of inside. So I said earlier on, I'm going to play the video again, and the godfather for when it comes to property, when it comes to new strategies in the UK, it's the one and only godfather himself joining me on the 30th of December. Oh, this is going to be your New Year package, just after Christmas. I can't wait. And so listen to this, and I know that. Listen to it.
The author of Property Magic, the Amazon #1 bestseller, and I've just come off the phone with a conversation with KB Bossman, and he's invited me to be the guest speaker at the Property Hour Show on Thursday, the 30th of December, 7 till 8 p.m. And I'm going to be sharing with you what's been happening in the property world in the last 18 months, and what I think is going to happen in the next 12 months, and how you can make 2022 your best year yet. I'm also going to share with you how you can get cash flow and equity growth from property that you don't even own. So look forward to seeing you on the Property Hour Show on Thursday, the 30th of December, 7 till 8 p.m. UK time. Look forward to speaking to you then.
Right, so hey, you don't want to miss it. It's Simon Zishi joining me on the Property Hour Show on the 30th of December, 7 p.m. Oh my, you don't want to miss it. This will change your life if you want to get into the property business. If you want to get understanding of what the industry and where it's going, as he said in the promo video, that in the last 18 months, where the property whole concept about property and the market and the industry has gone and where it's heading to, you've got to join us on the 30th. So before I leave you, please make a date with me on Sunday as well on the Faith Talk this Sunday at 5 p.m. We're talking about Christmas. What is Christmas? Do we have to celebrate Christmas? Okay, so many questions, but look out for the flyer. It's going to be good, and I'm going to have some guests, both in the studio and on virtual as well. So join me on Faith Talk this Sunday on Starr Radio UK. You don't want to miss it, and it's going to be good. Next week is another week that you don't want to miss. But hey, the big one is the 30th. Thank you to our sponsors, CIG Properties, and that's www.cigpropertyuk.com, and also Kerry's Furniture. They deliver to your doorstep from Caracas, Venezuela, to all the way to Moscow, or you can get your delivery all the way to Dar es Salaam, or if you happen to be in Latvia, they will deliver to your doorstep. That's Kerry's Furniture. Look out for them on Instagram and also on Facebook. And hey, M&N Concept, amazing company, global company based in Ghana. These guys know what time it is. These guys are good when it comes to customer service. Creatively, you know what, they will design everything that you need them to do for you, and banners when it comes to t-shirt, merchandise, everything. So you get 15% discount. Remember that if you mention Starr Radio UK, you do get that discount. And also let me say thank you to Mayor Associate are based in Ghana. If you're looking for a property management company or housing project management company in Ghana to look after whether private or commercial, it is Mayor Associate. You can contact them via us 0208 133 2257. That's 0208 133 2257, and we'll be able to connect you to Mayor Associate. Last but not the least is what CIG I've mentioned already. Thank you and have a good night. I'm out of here, and let me make sure that you enjoy. The next program is up. It's music time. Get ready.
Broadcasting live online. All around the world.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckle, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
While the others keep on talking, we keep on rocking.